to this, that I'm willing to visit this type of debt reduction no less than twice a year. I think an ideal time to discuss this, and I talked with our finance officer about this. You know, when would be the best time to be discussing this, and that is in the month of March. I think I shared that with John. Because you're planning your budget. This year's budget has run, but I do appreciate debt reduction and savings. And Johnny, I do have to point out the Gates County Index. I'm proud of that article that says that we added back to our. So I just want to make that clear. It was a good presentation, and a lot of thought went into it, as well as the water presentation. I like that too. I think my neighbor, you will have a great idea when he brought that to us. That's all I have.
Thank you, Jack. All right, John, you have anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about a few of the things that Jack said, and they're important, and they're good points. It's also a good point that we are concerned about what our future may be, but you have to be proactive, you have to be a risk taker, and you have to know yourself. $50,000, and we've thrown $50,000 around up here like it's nothing on certain things that we wanted. But they didn't make us money. None. Not yet. Hopefully they will. So, you know, my whole deal is, let's get started today. Take the one step. At least you've taken the proper step. Yeah, come back March or next September when you do that. Maybe we're ready for the next step. We may not be. But the key is, and I'll say this, and this is something that I used to do with young people. It was told to me, you got Tim and Joe, 20 years old. Joe says, well, you know, I'm going to start putting $2,000 away. At age 20, Joe does that. He does it for 10 years. He's accumulated $20,000 in the bank. That's a nice thing, but Joe gets married. He has a family. And his buddy Tim comes to him and says, hey, that was a great idea you had. I think I want to start doing that. Where can I do it? So Tim, he starts putting away $2,000 a year at age 30 for 35 years. He's put in $70,000. Joe's put in 20. Well, back at the time when interest rates were real good, it was quite substantial, and a lot of kids, you ask them, well, who has the most money when they're 65? And they would say Tim, because he put in 70. Well, Joe put in 20, but that was the bad answer. At these two scenarios, the break-even point is 4.6%. That's the break-even. Anything above that rate, then the guy that started first has the most. And that's the most valuable lesson that you can teach your children, is start early and putting it away. We have young people today with credit card debt just going nowhere because they're not disciplined. You have to be disciplined individuals to be successful. That's why it's important to start early. Now, yeah, I wanted to have a $500,000 commitment up front. But $50,000, believe me, is not much out of $3 million. To save 12 right now. And that's why I'm so hard about this. Because I know I've played this game too many times, and it's just a hard fact of life. You cannot argue against the numbers. I mean, you just can't. This gave the opportunity here to compromise. We're talking 12 more months before we do this again. But I want to do the 50 right now. I'd like to have the 100, but I want 50. And I'm going to come back December, the first meeting in December, and I'm going to hit it again. I I know two people that's gonna be, and one of them gonna be up here. That's on my, gonna be on that side of it. One of them are. And it's not gonna go away. And I told you, if I didn't, I would not put this county at risk if I didn't know this. This is a smart move. Very smart. I can't overcome the rate change, but I can overcome the time. And maybe $12,000 isn't a lot of money, but 143 is. And if you practice this and you're disciplined, you're going to put it in the bank. And I just don't know how to answer it any other way. So I'd like to make a motion tonight that we take $50,141 away from whatever the payoff amount is and pay against this debt and save this county money.
Are you making that a motion?
Yes, I am.
Oh, we got a motion on
And
the
I'm
floor?
going to do it again in December.
We got a motion on the floor, do we have a second?
Second.
All, got a motion second, all in favor say aye.
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 Is it two? All opposed, like sign? Aye. Three to two.
We'll get it passed in December.
Oh, yes.
All right. Henry, you got anything?
I want to make one more comment. Excuse me, I'm sorry. About what Sydney said about the meetings. That's going to be one of my #1 priorities too, that we have all nighttime meetings. Whether we get that or not, don't know, but that's going to be high on my priority. And I appreciate all of you people coming and putting up with this. And it's frustrating at times, but hey, that's the way life is. You got tribulations and trials, and you overcome them. You just have to be persistent, and keep pushing the ball. And I grant you, I continue to try to run the ball forward. Thank you for coming. Appreciate you.
You finished this up, John?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, fine. Henry, your turn.